Have you always had that discipline?
With money?
Yeah.
No. No, you gotta fuck it off to know what to do right. You gotta make mistakes. Ended up being in double debt. Because this money is being used to pay the government from what I owed them up here, and I'm not able to pay the taxes from that money from what I owe right here. So holy shit, I'm 3 years behind. What the fuck is happening?
The guy I'm about to bring up comes from very, very humble beginnings, much like mine. He began his career sizing men and women footwear. That was one of my jobs, by the way. I was unsuccessfully selling shoes, and I would always look at the woman's panties while I was down there doing the shoe size. Okay? You guys know this guy, right? You know who's coming here, okay? He quit his shoe salesman job to become super mega, like international 10X on steroids, 10X. He holds the record for being the highest grossing comedian in the history of the world. This man is responsible for us doing a 10X growth conference, by the way. He inspired me to put on my own tour and not just be a speaker at him. One of the highest paid actors in Hollywood and around the world. What you don't know is how shrewd he is as a businessman and a dreamer to build his own legacy as a CEO and a billion-dollar empire. Ladies and gentlemen, raise the roof. Call the roofer. Let's fix this place. Kevin Hart.
Very nice. Beautiful crowd, beautiful energy. This is amazing. Once again, hello, 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 hello. I love it. How you doing, man?
Come on, man.
You look good, dude.
Who does your fashion?
Who does my fashion? Well, this is a comfort look, but I got a stylist. I can't take all the credibility for it. I got a person that goes out and looks out for me, but I'm a stylish guy. I can throw some stuff on. This is me today. This is all me. This is my outfit. I like that. I like that shirt. That's like a little mock turtleneck. I like it.
That look?
Yeah. I like it. I see what you're doing. You didn't go full neck. You said I'm gonna go a little bit of neck. Still give you some.
I had a thick neck. I had a thick neck when I was growing up.
You still want to show a little neck. So you said I'm gonna give you half. I'm gonna give you a half cover up with my mock neck.
I saw Fury last night, tongue and neck.
Yeah, did you?
There?
Yeah, I saw him. He licked some blood last night.
Yeah.
Turned me completely out. I didn't know what that was about. I scared the shit out of me, to be honest with you. I ain't never seen another man go out to lick another man's blood.
You're not against that or anything?
No, I'm not gonna eat nobody's blood. That's not my cup of tea. So I'm not gonna fight you either. That's a hell of a threat. I'm gonna eat your blood. No, what? What the fuck just happened? Wait a second. Jesus.
You might not know this. I mentioned it backstage, but you are the inspiration behind me saying, hey, I want to run my own deal.
Okay.
Because when you did your tour.
Okay.
What inspired you to like, hey, I don't want to just be the comedian as funny as this guy is, right?
Thank you.
He's funny.
Thank you.
But what triggered in you, Kevin, that said, hey, I want to run my own show, my own tour?
When I think the beauty of what comedians do is understanding that you can be in charge of your own enterprise if you want to. It's a job that you get out of what you put into it. So as many shows as you want to do, you can. I said to myself, I don't want to continue to be a work for hire. So when I started to gain a high level of success, I said, how do I put myself in a position of comfort by building something that can last with or without me having to be in front of it full steam ahead? And I said, I think the best way to do that is to understand the business of the world of comedy in full. And that business has so many tiers to it. It's a business of writing, it's a business of directing, producing, and creating. So once I got a firm definition of that, I didn't see why I couldn't do that simultaneously and treat that just like I treated my comedy career. So as I grew in comedy, I was also growing and understanding how to knock off the other things that I wanted to do. And for me, that was the biggest priority. It wasn't just getting big in comedy. It was understanding what to do when I reached the point that I want to get to.
How many tickets how many seats have you sold?
Seats? Last year, I think we did.
You count seats or you count money? Which one do you do?
I mean, you got to count both. You can't ignore them.
Right.
You know, I think our total we did 172 dates on my last tour. We probably did about 1.2 million in seats in total, like actual seats. Wow. 1.2 million to 1.5 million. Yeah. Cause you got to think, we were in a position where we were doing arenas. So, 16,000 seat arena. Let's say you do multiple shows, you're at 32,000. You do 2 shows in that city.
2 shows, how fat, back to back?
I do same day. So let's say 7 and 10, that's 32,000 people for that day.
Same jokes?
Same jokes, same show with different personality, different energy, but you got a set. So, see, that's a joke right there. That's one of the jokes. So excited. Thank you. Which they are. They are excited. Thank you for that. Scared the shit out of me, by the way. But, you know, you got, let's say through the course of a weekend, 30, 60, 90, you're at 90,000 people for a weekend. So over the course of so many, you look and you add it, you go, wow, you do 1.2 million, 1.5 million. Then on a longer tour, you on that 2.5. The numbers go. But what's more important to me are not just the numbers, but the recurring people. You know, I like the fact that people have grown with me. So the fan base and the numbers, it continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I like the consistency and people saying, I remember when I came to see you here. I remember when I saw you here. And you look at it, you got a foundation and you got a story. And the story that you're telling, people are so invested in. I think to me, that's the best thing about the numbers behind the arenas, behind the tours. It's the investment for people.
What was the revenue from the last tour?
Revenue?
It was huge, right?
I mean, I think I probably did 100+ million on the last tour. 100+ million.
You can't make 100 million. You can't do 100 million just telling jokes. You got to own the show.
Well, I'm at a point where the business and touring is one that I control. So if I do a building, I don't need to get fronted. I don't need a promoter to basically ensure the event. So I take 95% of the door, and in taking 95% of the door, I'm also my own marketer. I'm my own team. So all of that stuff that comes in where people are normally allowed to profit and benefit, you kind of put that together yourself. So your revenue grows because your enterprise is ran by you and the people that you put in the position to control and evolve. So my friends that you look at as just regular guys are now businessmen that help me run the enterprise that I now have. So that ridiculous number that you're looking at is one that we're proud of because it's a testament to the hard work and dedication that they put into me and that I put into the craft as well. Thank you.
And look, you guys see this guy on social media pushing tickets?
Yeah.
Like I admire that. Like you pop on and say, hey, tonight I'll be in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Come see us.
Well, if you are your product, I think nobody knows what you are more than you. So if you're selling yourself, that means that you got a high level of belief in what you do and what you put your time and energy into. So when it comes to me marketing in anything, you get 110% of me speaking on behalf of what I'm passionate about. If it's stand-up comedy, I'm talking about it because I put 1.5 years into developing whatever the material is that I'm doing on that live show. If it's a movie, well, I put 2 to 3 months in filming that movie. There was a team of people that worked on those movie sets. If this movie's a success, it's not just my success, it's our success. So our success is banking on my effort. So I don't ever shortcut my effort. I give the most that I possibly can so that the people around go, what excuses do I have if the guy that's already here is still going 100 miles per hour? If he's not slowing down, why should I? So you're an example. You're an example of what to do with your product. I'm my product. That's it.
Are you like a businessman disguised as a comedian?
I'm heavy business.
You're heavy business.
I'm heavy business. Heavy business disguised with personality. The beauty of business, here's my intel about business, okay? Everybody assumes that business is just corporate. Everybody assumes that business means an office building and it means the structure that goes into said entity. That's not. Business has so many different levels to it. Business is selling Girl Scout cookies. Business is being a self-made chef that wants to put yourself in a position to cook for families. Business is being a teenager that wants to babysit. Business is understanding how to create something, own that, and make money from it. If you're doing that, you're running a business. From the simplest thing to the biggest thing, right?
It's good, man. It's good, man.
So,
take them to church.
So when you understand that, when you take these small things and you make these small things big things, your ideas start to grow as your businesses grow. For example, writing a joke is a business because that joke then becomes a comedy special. That comedy special becomes an IP. I own that IP, and I take that IP, and I sell that IP and license it to other platforms that will go and hold it for set amount of times. They got to give it back, which means I can continue to grow these IPs that all started from telling the jokes, which means that I now have a catalog. What's the benefit of a catalog? Benefit of a catalog is being able to fucking put yourself in a position to deal with studios and networks at the highest level. You now have to respect me as a business. So when you see this and you understand that, you grow within it. So I'm now a businessman because I love to create. In the world of entertainment, you have no entertainment without creativity. So you need a me. You need a guy that's going to come up with movie concepts, television concepts, and reasons to make the world laugh and feel better. I am now a necessity, which makes me an entity. I'm a fucking business. So respect me as that. That's the business. It's the truth.
I knew you were going to be good. I knew this was going to be good. I knew this was going to be good. So how important is it to erase the line between entertainment and business?
I think that it's extremely important to erase the line because there should be no line, okay? And here's what I mean when I say there should be no line. When you put lines, that means you're giving yourself sometimes limits. That means you're giving yourself destinations that you don't feel can be crossed. The two complement each other for me. Entertainment and business go hand in hand. If you can be the CEO on both sides of the fence, then you're dealing with yourself and others at the highest level. So I'll give you guys an example. There's a real goal that I have to make the world laugh. That's a goal, right? And the goal started off with me just being a comedian traveling the world. That goal has then transferred down into me creating a network. So Laugh Out Loud is a network. I said, well, if I'm making the world laugh, how do I put other people in a position to do the same? Everybody doesn't feel like they have an opportunity. I'm going to create a network that's based on giving the younger generation an opportunity to be seen and possibly
new talent,
and possibly uplift, generate, motivate their career to go on and be bigger and better. If I do that, then I'm really accomplishing my goal at hand of making the world laugh. I did it by setting up another entity where I could uplift the younger comedians, male, female, whoever, come and be on my platform, be a part of my network. I'm gonna give you this shot, I'm gonna give you exposure, but at the same time, my business is thriving because if you're a network in your studio, the lack of diversity is a real issue. So my comedy comes to you in color. I'm bringing you all ethnicities from all over the globe, and that's my job, to bring you comedy in a different perspective. So you now have to deal with me as a business.
I have to deal with Kevin Hart.
Deal with me.
It's Sunday, and we have to deal with Kevin Hart,
you
folks.
You got to deal with me. Like it or not, you have to deal with me. And I think that at this point in my career, you know, I'm 40 years old. And I'm 40 years old, man. Yeah, I mean, look, you
look good.
I'm trying my best. I've been in this business for over 20 years. So what am I really leaving? What's the real imprint that I'm leaving? And a big thing that I talk about that I want you guys to all understand. And this is so simple what I'm about to say, but yet so profound. You're writing a story. You're writing a fucking story. Whether you believe it or not, your life can be the equivalent of a book. When you read a book, you go through chapters. And each chapter, you got some good shit, you got some bad shit. But when you close that book at the end, you should be able to talk about what you read. That book should have a conclusion. Ask yourself in life, what do you want your conclusion to be? What's your story? When it's all said and done, what are people going to say about you? What effect, what imprint did you have? What are your kids going to remember about you? What are the closest people to you going to be able to talk about when your name comes up? I want my story to be as great as possible. I want to fucking have an amazing story. And in that story, you got some ups and downs. You got some bullshit. But at the end of that story, you're going to celebrate what the fuck I did because I did it at a high level. That's my job. That's me putting into me.
What do you do, like, because it wasn't easy for you 20 years ago.
Absolutely not.
You had it's part of the struggle you had getting a breakthrough. Is that part of why you created the distribution for the young talent? Or?
Yeah, I mean, you don't, as comedians, people don't understand how hard our journey is. You know, you're performing in bars, lounges, hubs. People are creating what they think are environments for comedy. Getting into comedy clubs aren't the easiest thing because comedy clubs have a roster, very small roster, and it's politics involved, which is why you got...
Like what? What are the politics?
Well, just politics. Who you know and what...
I couldn't just go do a Friday night 15 minutes.
No shot. You can't just walk into a comedy club and get up. It's a lot of politics that go involved. You got to be seen. You got to be approved. You got to put what they would consider to be your time in. This is why comedians create what's called an underground circuit. That underground circuit is where they make money, but you're never going to really be seen by the people that can possibly progress your career. Me going through that and seeing that, I said, well, how can I change that now that I'm in a position of high-level success? Creating that network was a reason of how, and now I got a real firm grab on a significant outlet that other comedians can now embrace. So at least I'm doing something that acts as my part in uplifting and growth. I think within the generations to come, you should look back and say, where are we getting better? Where are we improving? I'm just trying to do my side of that by giving that. Hopefully Laugh Out Loud Network will be just that, and you'll have your stars of tomorrow that will be elevated from the platform that I've created. That's the goal.
Yeah. So when you were 19, 20,
yeah.
When did you start doing comedy?
Started doing comedy at 18 years old.
What were you doing before that?
Selling sneakers.
Yeah.
Selling
were you
sneakers.
any good?
I was one of the best sneaker salesmen in the world. I can sell you a fucking sneaker like that. Tell me what you want.
9.5.
You wear 9.5?
I wear 9.5.
What do? You run? You want to train?
I got a bad
shoes?
ankle. I got a bad ankle right now, so I can't run much. What?
Do you supinate or pronate? Does your foot roll inward or outward?
I'm married. I don't do either one of those.
Okay, well, I'm going to assume that if you got bad ankles, you probably pronate. So what I want to do is give you a shoe with stability. By stability, I'm talking about something with condensed EVA, maybe polyurethane. I would recommend a Saucony. Saucony's are strong shoes. I would also... I can sell you anything, man.
That's ridiculous.
Sneaker salesman.
Okay, give me 12 of them.
Yeah.
So what does sales and comedy have in common?
Sales and comedy. You know, I think in sales you're always painting a picture. You know, you gotta make a person understand why said purchase is right for them, why this makes sense for you, why you will become better because of this. Putting this in your life is going to do this for you. And comedy, for me, I'm painting pictures. I take my personal life, I put it out there to make people understand that you're not the only one that goes through shit. I just find a way to laugh at my shit. I just find a way to find a positive in any negative. So what stand-up comedy actually is for me, that's my therapy. I talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and I make light of it because there's no pride and no real value in holding on to negative. It doesn't make anything change. It doesn't make anything better. The day is still going to continue to go on. The sun shines the next day with or without you, regardless of your attitude. So the longer that you choose to hold on to bullshit, the longer that bullshit takes up some time that you can spend doing better shit. So comedy is my way of putting better shit out there.
Yeah, and you figured out how to monetize.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about TikTok in the back, and I said,
Yeah.
I don't understand TikTok, and you said to me,
I don't understand it either.
and
That's how I use TikTok. I use TikTok by doing TikTok inappropriately. So my whole thing with TikTok is not knowing how to do a TikTok. So I just say the
you guys
word
understand?
TikTok.
He just leaned into the liability.
Yeah, I just basically
the deficit.
I'm fucking honest, and when I do a TikTok, I just say the word TikTok, and I say, you want to get in my TikTok, and then you go, yeah, and I'm like, all right, we doing a TikTok. I don't know if we are or not, but I'm gonna post it, and then people gonna see my TikTok. So that's how my TikTok goes. I'm getting old. I don't understand the shit like I used to. I had a little kid explain it to me, and I was like, I think we just did a TikTok, and I just posted that. So I run with that. Those are my TikToks now. But social media, I mean, look, that's the benefit of social media.
Yeah.
Social media has pros and cons, okay? Right now, I'm gonna give you the pros. The pros of social media are that we can invest a high level of time into engaging with the world in a way that we've never been able to before. I can talk to people all over the globe, and because of that, they can talk back. This is cool. I can build up an audience. I can build a fan base. I can grow because of what social media allows me to do. The bad is that everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion now, and everybody has a place to go to make that opinion be felt. And because of that, you get a lot of back and forth, and you get a lot of high volume negativity. Is it more than a positive? No, but that's what the internet does very well. The internet is very good at making a negative seem a lot louder than a fucking positive. You ever ask yourself, how come you don't really hear about good shit? It's not the good shit ain't happening. You choose to ignore it. You choose to not listen to it the same way that you listen to the fucking bad shit. Right now, if I come in here and I say, man, I just met these 5 kids outside. They got these scholarships. They all going to college next year. You'll be like, oh, that's dope. If I come in and I say, motherfucker got hit by the car, the back of his leg came off. That shit gonna travel. It's gonna travel. It's gonna travel. Y'all gonna start to talk. You hear about the motherfucker outside, his leg came off? What? Motherfucker leg came off. Outside. Where? Outside. He ain't got no leg. Y'all gonna fucking talk about it. You ain't gonna repeat shit about the scholarships just because. Ask yourself why. Think about it. Ask yourself why. It's the little shit that we ignore as people that really makes me laugh. If you watch the news, you watch the fucking news. You think the news is all bad. The news got some good shit in it too, but you don't hear it because the bad shit grabs your attention more. Ask yourself why. It's a problem with us in our fucking society. We are in love with bad, and that's what social media is elevated. It's elevated the bad. So ask yourself, are you a part of the good, or are you a part of the fucking bad? Really ask yourself, because if you liking the bad, you're part of the fucking bad. If you spreading the good, then you're part of the fucking good. So you gotta really make a decision within a social media time. True
Man,
shit.
sick. It's ridiculous.
True shit.
You guys are with Kevin Hart today on Sunday. That's good. That's good. Okay? So, look, have you checked out my Instagram?
Yes, I had to.
You did?
I can't come here and not understand who I'm coming to talk to. I can't not be well versed on what you do.
Why did you do this deal?
I did it because I like your attitude and your approach. I like your approach to life. I like it takes a level of confidence and real goals. You got real goals. You're goal oriented to say, I've done this, I did this. I don't want to keep this by myself. I want to take this information. I want to uplift, motivate, inspire others because we don't share this type of information enough. Now, if I really grab a lot of people's attention, I think that I can have a major impact. I think I can have a major impact of change. I think I can help people become better. That's real selfless. You're not a selfish guy. You're selfless. That's a fucking attractive thing in person. That's what makes me attracted to you as a person. That's for me. That to me is the thing.
The internet says I'm selfish.
Yeah. I mean, listen, do you choose to only hear that?
No.
That means that you're listening to just the bad. The bad is louder. But you don't get fucking 10,000 people.
Travels. I like that.
You don't get 10,000 people in the arena because you're bad.
Sunday.
You don't get them here because you're a selfish person. You're doing something right.
Yeah.
So what the internet does is sometimes cloud the right. Don't feed into that shit, man. I'm so good at not feeding into shit. I'm so unbothered by unnecessary shit. Life is too short.
Like, what do you do? Like, what do? You just like, you don't see it? It doesn't hit you?
I'm just not bothered. I'm human. And I think that in today's time.
You're saying you're human, so you know you're going to have some errors.
Human means that in life, thank you. I don't know what he said, but the second time I've been scared. Here's what I mean. Here's what I mean when I say human, okay? In life, we grow, right? You start off at a certain age, you grow to become an adult. After that, you grow to become an old individual, male or female. And as an old individual, you then are able to look back and reflect on life. But now you're able to go and talk to younger people because you've seen and experienced things. You may have made mistakes, you may not have, but you live life to talk about it. You can't live life and expect to be perfect. That's not why life is created. That's not why it exists and we exist. You fuck up. That's the beauty of life. You fuck up, you recover from it, and you hopefully don't do it again. The reason why I can shoulder shrug bullshit is because it's exactly that. It's bullshit. When you go through bullshit, the best part about it is becoming better from the bullshit that you went through. If you stay in your own bullshit, that's just your fuck up. That's you. So I can't get mad at anybody for me and my mistakes. I can only try to get better. So when I hear things about me, it doesn't bother me. Conversations out there because of something I did. All right, hopefully I don't do it again. Hopefully I continue to move forward and do it at a high level. If I do, good for me. If I don't, fuck, I'm just an idiot. It's me against me. Like, people just, if you don't take nothing from this, understand that it's you against you. Nobody else exists outside of you. So other people can't get the best of you if you don't understand you. If he don't understand his full level of capability and understands a high level of self-love within himself, then how the fuck he gonna give it to anybody else? You gotta know you. That's how your kids become great. That's how your family members feed off you, because you're giving them some high energy that you have based off of you. Love you. If you love you, man, this shit is an easy ride. I don't give a fuck what you're going through. As long as you love you, you're gonna be good. Problems are not problems when you have a high level of understanding and confidence that you're going to evolve. I'm always gonna be okay. I'm always gonna be okay. No matter what, I'm gonna be okay. It's true shit.
After the sitcom canceled, what was that? That was
Which sitcom? I got a lot canceled. I got a lot of shit that didn't make it.
Canceled. They all end something.
I got a lot of shit that didn't make it.
No, and then to me it looked like after that you obsessively went on a tour.
Yes.
So my question is not about the sitcom.
It was the first sitcom that hit me hard that got canceled. It was called The Big House. And the reason why it hit me hard is because, you know, I was young. I'm 22, 23 years old, and this is what I thought was gonna launch me into the highest level of success. You know, this is the show that I was a writer on, I was a creator on, I was a star of. Oh my God, this is it. Life is about to change. And, you know, when you get that feeling of I finally did it, and something happens and that feeling is instantly taken away, it's a gut check moment, right? And you got to ask yourself, how am I going to respond to real gut checks? And have I ever been gut checked? Have I ever truly been tested? This was a test. This was a test to see if I really was passionate about the craft that I've talked about and I boasted about. Because if I was, then I'm going to let this little step back be just that. It's a minor step back. I'll recover. I'll be able to fucking make it out.
But at the time, it felt like a major
At the time, it felt like a major step back.
And then to me, it looks like you became an obsessive, almost a beast on your tour.
Because I didn't like the fact that people kept telling me what I couldn't do. When my show got canceled, I had a bunch of people around me that were managers or agents at the time, and the conversation was, just wait. Sit by the phone, we'll figure something out. You're waiting on auditions. You're waiting on these opportunities to come. And I was like, well, what am I doing to create the opportunity? How do they know I'm sitting here waiting? That's the question I asked myself. I said, how do people know I'm sitting here waiting on them to fucking call me? Like, what? I don't understand how that works. How do they know that I'm home sitting by the fucking phone? Do they know? Do they know that I'm home? That's what I asked myself. Do they know I've been here for fucking 3 months sitting by the goddamn phone? Ain't nobody called. And I was like, they not gonna call, dickhead. Cause you're not creating the call. I'm not doing shit to make you call me.
Did he call me a dickhead?
No. I said, I'm not doing anything to create a call. So I said, Kevin, go do what you love and do it at the highest level and go make somebody call you. So I got up and I put everything I had into stand-up comedy. And before I knew it, what once didn't exist started to exist. You told me that my show, it didn't go, and now that it didn't go, I gotta wait for an opportunity and I gotta build the fan base. So not only did I go out and I built that fan base on my own, I started to sell tickets. When I started to sell tickets, that revenue, well, that's real analytics, that's real data. So when I'm now talking to you and you're telling me that said movie, we don't know how it's gonna do, or we don't know if what you do is gonna transfer, well, I got tons of box office revenue that says you're wrong. So now I've created an opportunity. So when you took one from me, I came back stronger.
But you used it as fuel, that failure, that setback.
It was fire.
It was fire.
It was added motivation for me to do more for me. It wasn't for anybody else. It goes back to what I'm saying about you versus you. You closed the door on my face and you fucking took something that I thought was mine. So now it's my job to go back and get what I still know is mine. It's mine. You can't take that from me. You can't take that.
You guys got to be loving this.
Yeah.
Am I the only person here with a business direction? John Travolta was here yesterday.
Yes.
He loves you.
Oh, man, it's my guy.
Okay. Now, he was talking about patience. And he talked about how you can't be frantic. But on you like a little different energy. What is that balance between the frantic, the push, the obsessing, and then also the patience? I understand
what he means when he says patience. Patience is understanding that everything is going to happen today. Everything that's worth wanting and you know, lusting over should come with a high level of time to achieve. So understanding that is important. Understanding that it's not going to be easy and I'm going to have to grind to get it. And I'm going to believe that no matter what, I'm eventually going to get there. I processed that early on. The frantic side for me, or the side of aggression, that part came from, once again, just being told what you can't do. So when I was told I wasn't funny enough, I was told I wasn't a good actor, I was told that you're not really gonna work on TV or have that opportunity because you had one. Everybody only gets one shot. You start hearing all of that shit. It set some fuel in me to go, well, I believe that I can get as many shots as I want if I'm willing to create them. So my frantic became in the high level of creativity behind what I wanted to do. I was still also willing to be patient in achieving said goals because I knew that I was going to do the work to get there. I was willing to do whatever it takes to get there. So my patience came from saying, if I do the work, I'll get the reward. A lot of people don't want to do the fucking work. I know you had Scooter Braun here, right? Scooter told me something that was so amazing one time, because we talk. He's a good friend. He said, Kevin, here's what separates me from everybody else. He said, if they were given $5 million out to say whoever can hit a Major League Baseball pitcher's pitch, come out to said baseball field and take your swing. He said when they say that for $5 million, he said there's going to be so many people that come out. The line is going to be miles and miles and miles. He said, and everybody's going to get up there and they're going to take a swing. He said, but not many people are going to go get back in line and wait to get another swing. He said, because after somebody takes that first swing, they'll go and they'll look at the line and they'll go, that line too fucking long. I'm not waiting back in that line again. I'm gonna be in that line for fucking 2 years. There's so many people there. I'm not gonna take 2 years to swing at that bat and possibly miss. He said, I'm gonna do it until nobody else is there, because I'm gonna keep swinging. He said, Kevin, you're that type of guy. I said, Scooter, I would probably beat you in going and running back to get in the fucking line. I said, that's the type of guy that I am. So when you see certain things and you see certain moments, they act as metaphors and tie-ins to life. How many times have you seen lines that have been a part of something that you really wanted to do that you said, I'll do that shit next time. That line too long. If you're not willing to wait in that line then, what makes you think you're going to be willing to wait in that line now when it comes down the fucking line? You got to fucking teach yourself along that way to be persistent, to be patient. If you don't build that capability, then you're never going to have it. You don't develop it overnight. It's nurtured. It's developed. It's something that you got to work at. So for years, I've waited in lines.
When's the last time you waited in any line?
Well, it's different now. I'm Kevin Hart. It's a bigger thing. I don't want you guys to think I'm still waiting in lines. I worked hard to not wait in lines no more. I'm saying when I had to wait in a line, I did. My kids wait in line, okay? Prime example, when my kids go to the amusement park with me, it's an experience. We go right up to the rides and we get on those rides fast. You know why? It's because of your dad. It's not because of you. So when you go and you and your friends are there and you say, Dad, can you set up said things so we don't have to wait in line? No, I don't have to wait in lines.
I could, but I ain't.
You gotta wait in fucking lines. You ain't did your just do yet. Wait in line. You still gotta wait in line. You don't get the benefit that I get from waiting in lines all this time. This came from waiting in fucking lines. So something as small as this metaphor is so much bigger than you realize it is. So now when my kids go and they go to these amusement parks and they wait in these lines, it's not a conversation. When they come back with me and they don't, it's such a benefit, but now it's a want. Because now I want to do whatever dad did so I don't have to wait in the lines like my dad. How do I put in that work? It's mental. It's mental.
It's mental.
Yes.
Or your kids want to go to the park with you all the time.
Well, I don't go all the time, so that's a benefit. I get sick on roller coasters. I can't do the shit I used to now.
You met my two little girls
Probably
in the back.
not.
You met my two little girls in the back. And
yes, I did.
They were just like, they're just amazing. What's it like to have people look at you like?
I don't know because I don't feed into it. I'm so grounded within normalcy, right? Like, at the end of the day, if you have the attitude of, I remember what the bottom was, there's a fear of always getting back to the bottom. So within that fear, you don't know who can be a part of that demise. And if there ever was, who could be a part of the possible progression to get back. So meeting people is a bonus to me too. So when I meet people and they tell me, oh my God, Kevin, I love you, I'm a fucking fan, I make sure that I embrace them back because I don't get to where I am without you. So that moment that we have is a moment for both of us. It's not just you. So I don't.
How much is that fear? That fear. Where does it sit with you? Like the fear of, hey, all this could go away.
That's a big fear, man. Especially knowing the people that would suffer the most. You know, the biggest thing in building an enterprise, building a company, are the people that believe in whatever the vision is that you have. To go and work for somebody or work for their company, yes, you're taking your job, but I'm also taking belief that this opportunity is going to eventually become so much more for me in my life. So there's a lot of people that now have families, that have lifestyles, that have homes that work underneath me. So my failure becomes their failure. So the fear is letting down the people that believe in me the most. So that's why I operate differently. That's why I try to stay as focused and online as I possibly can. Because when I've misstepped, I saw the reaction from the people that fucking really could suffer. I saw what I didn't see. And the biggest learning curve is always
the other people dependent upon you.
Yes, that's something that you got to learn. You know, you don't get it. Nobody gives you a handbook. You got to learn it.
Yeah.
So with me and being a CEO, I didn't study CEO school. I didn't fucking go to business school.
Yeah, well, you didn't miss anything. Trust me.
I didn't do that. So all of the things that are now happening, it's education. You're in a crash course learning fucking school, and these ups and downs are fucking monumental moments of information. So for me now, when I look at this and I say, okay, Kev, here's why you need to always live in a position of, we're not going to go back here. We're not going to get too comfortable, because getting comfortable is when things can fall apart. I don't want to be comfortable. I don't want to live with the mindset of nothing's going to change. It's going to be like this forever. Because when it isn't, now what the fuck do I do? I thought that it would be. I've been in this unrealistic mindset for so long.
What do you do with your money to prepare for that?
Do smart things. I'm heavy investment, real estate. We just started a VC.
Who loves real estate?
Real estate.
Why do you like real estate?
I love real estate. And, you know, real estate is just one thing that you know where your money is. That money's in the ground. So regardless of what's going on in the world, people are always going to need places to do business, places to live. They're always going to need places. So the more that you can achieve the buy or the ownership of these places, the more that you're always going to have revenue coming back to you. You're also putting yourself in a position to always go out and borrow or get, because I have these things to leverage. So the more that you, I guess you can say, the more that you get, the more that you can do. And, you know, sometimes I think people think that it's a far-fetched goal to get. And it's not really. It's not that hard when you gain the understanding of it. The game of Monopoly is a real game. Yeah. It's a real fucking game. And when you play Monopoly...
Can you repeat that? I don't know that everybody...
The game of Monopoly is a real game. When you play Monopoly, the goal is to buy up as much property as you can and get people to pay you for that property when they land on it. Rent. That's the fucking real game. So when I look at now my success, I'll tell you, here's something that I do. And this
tell us something that only the IRS knows.
This is something that you guys don't know. Let's say I do a movie, right? That movie is whatever the fuck it is. I make a nice amount of money to do a movie. Take that number, split that number in half. Half of that number goes to the government. That's the IRS, no matter what.
So we're talking about 25 million becomes 12.
We can just call it a number. I don't want people to knock me in the head when I leave here. Let's just call it a number, okay? Let's say that number is a number. No matter what, when you make money, split it in half.
Yeah.
Split it in half right away. Don't put the money in your bank account and look at it as you got all that money, because you don't. Half of that money is not yours. So right away, put it over here. Create a fucking account, call it the tax account. Put half of that there, so as you make money, you always put this money in the tax account. I never got to worry of giving the government their money, because that money's over there, and I don't look at that like it's my fucking money. I'm never gonna touch that money, because it's not mine, it's the government. So now off of my half, what do I wanna do? I'm gonna take another half. This half is going over here. This half is for my next real estate investment. I don't know what it is, I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm putting it over here, so when I do figure it out, I got it there to buy. So now I'm only living.
This is so ridiculous.
I'm only living off a quarter of my financial gain. I split it in half and I took a quarter. You only get in debt. You only get in debt when you don't understand the breakdown of your finances. Right now I'm doing a deal.
So you buy the paddock from the last quarter left over.
I'll buy my reason for watches is because there's nothing more valuable than time to me. So I spend money on timepieces per project because those timepieces go with me putting my time to something that meant a lot. So each watch that I wear, it's not just me wearing a nice watch just because. It's tied into a project that I did, and I spent this time. So if I got on a fucking expensive watch, you look at it as I'm probably spending some fucking crazy money. Well, that watch could be tied to Jumanji's $1 billion
what was that project right there?
It could be this one here.
Yeah.
This is stainless steel paddock. This is when we did Cold as Balls the first season, and Cold as Balls went on and achieved, I think, 80 million views. From the 80 million views, our show became a success, and we then agreed to do 2 more seasons. I celebrated. I got myself a stainless steel. Reason why, I'm in a cold fucking tub. This is the color of the cold tub. Everything is tied in to something.
Awesome,
there's nothing, I'm so vetted out and well broken down.
Everything's got a reason for you.
Everything's got a reason. So here's what I mean. Another thing that I want to add to the finances. What I found that some people really suffer from is financial literacy, right? Like that's a real problem. People don't understand that, but it's a real problem. Yeah. We spend money when we get it as if it's a recurring thing when it's not. I know a lot of people that get a check, and as soon as they get that check, they go fuck that check off. And I want the look of what comes with that check. I'm not getting another check like that for a while, but when I got it, boy, did I live. I had a good time when I got that check. Instead of understanding, how do I make this money make sense and actually have more value and bang for it? How do I prepare myself for the next month when I don't normally have money? That's the part that's getting a little fucked up for me. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna treat this money differently. So when I get to this month, I'm well prepared. Oh, now that I'm prepared, I want to do this again. So when I get to the month after, I got 2 double bangs of being prepared. Oh shit, I done saved up 4 months that give me protection and comfort for when I don't have money. Oh wow, so I basically have money. I'm now in a position to do what I once couldn't do because I have value from the money that I made because I've done all of the things that I needed to do and at the same time saved.
Have you always had that?
Yeah.
Have you always had that discipline?
With money?
Yeah.
No. No, you gotta fuck it off to know what to do right. You gotta make mistakes. Once again, you don't do anything right the first time you do it. I can't tell you what I did with the first lump sum of money I made.
What was the first real money you made?
First real money?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's different definitions for real money. Yeah. The first lump sum of money that I got, I remember I was like 21, and I got $250,000 as a development deal. And nobody explained taxes to me. Nobody explained an entity, a LLC. The money just came. They took some of it out. I spent it and looked up and owed more money to the government and had to pay that, was left with a negative balance and was left with a hell of a marker of money that had to be paid. So I was in debt for like 2 years trying to figure out how to pay the money that I owed to the government. So the money that I was making in stand-up, I still had to pay the taxes on that money, so I ended up being in double debt because this money is being used to pay the government from what I owed them up here, and I'm not able to pay the taxes from that money from what I owe right here. So holy shit, I'm 3 years behind. What the fuck is happening?
I'm gonna be Wesley Snipes.
I'm 3 years behind. So when that happened, I said, you know what? When I get out of this situation, which I eventually will, I'm never coming back to it again. I'm gonna get the information that I should have had when I got this.
So what did you do to get the information? Did you start reading? Did you start?
I talked to people with money. I was in some rooms with people that were making money, and I asked questions that some people think are too cool to ask. He said he owed me 20 from the hat. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, okay, brother. I don't know what he wanted me to do with it, but I'm going to say God bless you. See, this is where I get scared. And I didn't move just now, Grant. Good thing you got people. Probably a nice guy. Little motivated.
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Inspiration. I get it. Okay, yeah. But I'm small. So, guys, just, give me a peace sign from far away so I know what's happening first, and then we can engage. But, if you just come up and do this, I'm going to assume it's something else. Now, I'm not saying I would have ran, but I was about to leave you. I didn't know what he was doing. I
got you covered,
okay?
man.
I didn't know what was happening, but I just want you guys to be honest. I definitely saw it happen, and as he was walking, I was like, he don't look like he's stopping. And, he started going up the steps, and I was like, nope. And then I saw somebody come in. But I was about to go right through that fucking door right there. I just want to let you know, I'm very honest. So...
I apologize.
No, stop it, man. It's fine.
Enthusiasm. Sometimes enthusiasm can be like it can be a little...
It's fine. I'm giving you shit.
No, I know.
So, what I did was...
No, but I think it's important for people to understand, dude, you can take it too far. But you got to take it too far to find out what too far is. Like, he didn't make a mistake unless he does that over and over and over again.
Yeah. Well, now he knows, of course.
Now he's getting his ass kicked out of the fucking stadium. And there should be a penalty when you fuck up, by the way. Of course. There should be a penalty.
Of course. My penalty to not asking questions when I made money was fucking off the money and owing. The benefit was now putting myself in a position to try to not make the same mistake. How do I do that? Well, I'm not going to be the cool guy that don't ask questions. I'm actually going to ask the uncool questions. I'm actually not afraid to come off dumb. I'm actually not afraid to come off uneducated about what I don't know. And that's a talent. Yeah. That's a talent. Like, being the cool person that wants to know everything, there's no benefit in knowing everything. You can't know everything. Yeah. You just can't. You can know a lot about something, but you can't know everything. So somebody knows a little bit more than what you do that can help you know more.
So you're willing to be Kevin Hart, superstar, that doesn't know?
I don't know a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I just started Heartbeat Ventures. So I'm in the VC world, and the goal right now is I've done a great job of building a portfolio, right? At one point, I didn't understand the stock market. I didn't understand how people operate in the stock market. So you're telling me I take my money, I give it to somebody, they invest that money, and then I make money from what they did with it? Yeah. How I know he doing the right thing with my money? Well, you got to find somebody you trust. I don't trust it. I ain't going to do it. Well, Kevin, this is how you gain wealth. Sound like a fucking scheme to me. I ain't going to do it. Right? I ain't going to do it. I don't like it. I don't understand it. I ain't going to do it. But then you get in other rooms and you get around real wealth. You get around real conversation. Oh, wait, this thing that people have been talking about, it really does exist. It really does exist at a high level. I don't have to go into this full steam ahead. Maybe if I start off small, get comfortable, understand it, maybe it's something that I can find some success in. I was ignorant to it, so I didn't want to do it. Let's remove that ignorance. Let's educate ourselves, and let's see if I can find a love. Oh, shit, I found a love. I got an investment portfolio. Oh, shit, I'm a part of some of the biggest companies that exist today. You would never know, but I am, because I invest in so much. Oh, shit, you know what people do? They start these investment fucking firms and they raise money. And then what they do with the money they raise, they got a team of people that act as a fucking unit and they go out and invest and this team makes money together. I can put together a team. I can be a VC. I'm going to go get people to invest in me and my VC, and I'm going to assure that we have success because now I'm a bankable person to do it with based on the success that I've now built and earned. So I've learned and gained success. I did it by not being afraid to get the information that I was ignorant to. So I say that to say, just because you don't know doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It's just what you don't know. I thought that what I didn't know was fucking just stuff that you making up. It's bullshit, which is why I missed out on some of the biggest opportunities in the world.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that it appears to me that, like, poor people call everything a scam.
Yeah.
And the top of the food chain says, there's an opportunity here, I just don't quite understand it.
Yes. Well, here's the thing, though. Are poor people wrong for calling everything a scam? They're being scammed. So naturally, if I'm in a position and I am being scammed because everything around me is set up for me to fail, unless I'm educated or somebody says, hey, man, you got to stop going there. You got to start going over here. When people go over here, they move differently. I came up in the fucking hood. If you look in the hood, you hear about it. There's liquor stores and check cashing places. You know why? Because they know that the people in the hood aren't smart enough to open up bank accounts. They're going to get a check, they're going to cash it, and it's a liquor store right next to it. So you're going to get your check, and you're going to buy this liquor, and then you're not going to have no more money. Let's just put that around them. Let's also put a bunch of shit that's easy and cash available. We don't want you to gain credit. We want you to be cash driven. That's how we keep the poor poor. It's not until you understand that you get out. That's the truth.
Why don't we do a tour together?
That's how you get out.
Why don't we do a tour together called Don't Be Poor Tour?
Listen, it's when you really break this stuff down, after talking to people that break it down for you, it just changes your perspective, which is why I don't judge, which is why I don't hold anybody to a certain standard, because I've learned that there's so many different standards that exist. So for me now, it's about putting myself in position to just constantly grow. When you talk about, people that are less fortunate, once they understand how to possibly become more fortunate, then we'll see more change. But there's a major chain that has to be broken of reoccurrence. So for me, it's dealing with Chase. I'm with JP Morgan Chase. I now have a deal with them, and that deal is to go back into the urban communities and educate these low-income households and these kids on finances in a way that they've never been. That's a step. It's a step in a direction that nobody else has taken. So with me making that first step, hopefully other people will follow. Now it's, okay, what else can you do to break a major chain? Well, the prison reform. A friend of mine, Michael Rubin, Meek Mill, they got into a nonprofit organization, and they found a real problem with people that have been incarcerated and getting out of jail and being on probation. When you're on probation and this record and blemishes on your record, it really does prohibit you from doing anything to improve or get work. But the system of being incarcerated is there to put you in jail, make you learn a lesson so you come out and do better. But I can't do better because you don't let me move on from my mistake. So all of this stuff wraps into what I've been saying from the beginning. We're supposed to fuck up, but you gotta be given a chance to make right. So when you fuck up or you see other people that have, you give them the tools that they need to make right. I've seen the hood, I've seen the urban community fuck up. I'm a black man that now has become a millionaire. I can't keep this information to myself. I'm coming back to get y'all because I want to see more of us become millionaires. That's the difference. That's the big difference. That's the big difference. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Kevin, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate your generosity. I appreciate your generosity. I appreciate your insight and your success.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you as well.
What is the term? What would the term 10X mean to you?
Wow, that's a great question. First of all, I love the definition that you have behind it in general. For me, it's consistency. It's consistency, and you know what? It's a high level of, what's the word? Is it perseverance? How do you say the word? Is it perseverance? Perseverance, right? And belief. Because the idea of doing something 10 times is a big idea. And I talked a lot about patience. I gave a lot of metaphors that went with doing things in repetition and understanding what that repetition does. It allows you to grow. For me, the 10X is simply about growth, personal growth and consistency. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for my personal growth. And I'm a better man today than I was yesterday. And it's not because of the financial success. It's because of the personal success. Because I've been able to set goals and achieve, that's allowed me to win on the highest level. And those goals can be small or big. But when you set out to do something and you do it, you're separating yourself from a large portion of the world today. A large portion of the world today isn't goal-oriented. A large portion of the world is comfortable with just being convenient. A large portion of the world is comfortable with just things simply being okay. When you're not, you're different. Be different. Be a fucking high level of different. If you're not gonna be nothing else, stand out. I stand out because of my version of 10X. My version of 10X allowed me to stand out. And when I stood out, I fucking showed out. And when you allow me to show out, well, goddamn it, you stuck with me. Because now I know what it feels like to show out and win. There's no going back. You don't go backwards. It's all about progression, not digression. So the people that are in this room, I'm going to assume that you're here to progress. I'm going to assume that you're here because you want the most out of life. It doesn't come from you doing nothing to go fucking get it and obtain it. Everybody wants to be famous, but don't nobody want to do the work. Go do the work, man. Put the time and effort and energy into you, and the benefits will come through. It's that simple. It's not fucking rocket science. It's the most simplest shit in the world. Some people just can't see it because they got a hard time believing what they don't fucking see is real. It's real. What you want, you can go get. Go get that shit. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't get it. Go get that shit. You a go-getter, man. You went and got your shit. You went and got your shit. So keep putting these people in the right position for them to go get their shit. You in a room of go-getters, man. So leave this bitch and go get. It's that simple. Go get.
Kevin Hart!
Thank you guys so much, man.